coming at you live from the 850 and the 448. This is Hypersanedy.
Yeah.
And yeah, welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
Hello.
We have sorry, my throat is on 10. But we have a guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello.
And how you know us?
Okay, yes. My name is Nicolina. I know Kamari from school. We've had quite a few classes together. Quite a few funny times. Laughable memories, I guess. Alec just met this nice young man here, but I've seen him around school as well. He's in the same major as us, so... Oh, not the same major, but same field as us, so...
Right. Yeah.
We all kind of relate in that aspect, but hopefully you don't think I'm crazy by the end of this. As my first impression.
Hypersanity for a reason.
True.
So, yeah.
True.
Do you know what hypersanity means?
Didn't you guys say it in like your first episode or something?
We did. Wow.
Don't test me on it. But I get a good idea of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We want to refresh or?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. First of all, yeah, this is volume 16.
Volume 16.
Volume 16.
Everybody say it with me. Volume. Okay. No episodes out here. Volume.
Volume.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Hypersanedy is, well, in our terms, it's basically the combination of hypersanity and comedy. So we're trying to put the comedic twist on things that we can observe and analyze in a philosophical manner. And yeah, just sort of go from there.
Right. So, just in case you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? We're out here. We're trying to make y'all hyper sane. Isn't that right?
Yes, and I think that's good because I feel like nowadays a lot of people kind of dramatize issues and make it seem like, oh, I'm the only one who's experiencing it. But I feel like it's a good thing to recognize what we all think about, what we all go through, and also like make it kind of funny because
it means nothing.
You can't take everything.
It's all a joke.
Serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's a joke.
People take things too seriously nowadays.
They
little
do.
bit.
They do. 100%.
But it's also very, good to be, like analytical about things because
It is. It is very good.
how is that funny?
It's funny because this
I
is
love
Mr.
being
Analytical
analytical.
right here. This is him in the flesh and bone right here.
Well,
Like-
I don't want to. How do you feel about astrology?
Oh my God! I have to walk out. Wow! Here we go. Okay,
I just
she's
wanna-
on it, right? Yeah.
I don't.
Oh wait. How do you feel about it? Because
I don't. If you think I'm not, I don't think it's Bible or anything. But I just think it's interesting to see, what what qualities might be associated with your sign. I mean, I'm a pretty analytical person.
Okay.
And that's associated with my sign, quote unquote. So I was just curious to know if maybe you were into that, and we could make.
No, see, the thing is that
No, we're talking about the signs.
You hate
We're
it. You
definitely
think it's
about
the
to do
stupidest
this.
thing ever, which it is kind of stupid, but
I mean, it's inconsistent to say the least. Like you could go somewhere and say, how you have each day there's a different, like phrase or haiku or something that goes with the signs. You could go to different sites and it will tell you something that's just way off what the previous site had said.
Right.
So it's like, what really is then that day's like description?
I don't think any of it's fact, and I definitely don't take anything as Bible. I just think it's interesting to see what type of connections are made, and like Twitter memes are funny sometimes, but I'm not one of those girls.
What is your sign? Because I've met so many, especially girls who be like, "What's your sign?" I'll be like,
I try not to ask that because I'll just find out. I just find out on my own. I mean, you just look at their birthday and see, and you're like, oh, okay. But I am a Virgo. I was born on September 15th.
Gotcha.
What about you?
I'm technically a Pisces. I
Okay.
was born on the 26th this month.
Okay. So your birthday's coming up. Nice. Yeah, well,
Be
I mean,
old as shit.
if we're... How old are you?
800.
Here. But no, I'm 24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
800.
How old are you now?
How old am I? I'm 6 years old.
Okay.
No, I'm playing. I'm 22.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
22 going on 23.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I just turned 21, so...
I remember you told me. You're like, yeah, because we were at the fair.
Yes.
I just turned 21. I'm still a child. And I'm like, all right. I mean...
What do you mean?
You're not a child.
Oh.
21 years old. You're
Okay,
grown.
yes. I guess I just turned 21 late in comparison to the rest of my friends.
Right.
Because where I went to elementary school and obviously middle school and high school, like our cutoff date was later than it is here in Florida. So if I went to school in Florida, then I would be technically a grade behind.
Gotcha.
So I'm at the junior level in Florida terms, but I'm like a senior in college. Just because my cutoff where I live is January 1st of the following year, whereas here it's September 1st, I think.
Actually, I had two friends in high school who moved from Maryland, and when they came down, they both moved up a grade.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Because,
So the one of them was a grade ahead, but he would have been in our grade if he was still there, and then the other one moved into the grade that I was in.
yeah.
So.
The same with my roommate. She moved from Pennsylvania to Florida, and they moved her up like a grade as well. I just think that northern school systems are typically a little bit more...
Advanced.
Not, I want to say advanced or better, but organized differently than here. Here it's a little less standardized.
But see, look, I actually am like the same because I started school early and I'm supposed to be like a year behind. Like, even though it didn't really show like in college, but like all throughout like elementary, middle school, high school, I was a grade ahead,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Well, for our degree, I feel like the lines are just very blurred because you can you could take it in 4 years, you could take it in 6 years. You know, most people do like 4.5, 5.
Which is
I did 4 because my parents were like, we can't afford an extra semester, so. Plus, I was fortunate enough to like finesse all my classes to where I did the most for one class. So like I took like a bunch of requirements that fulfilled just by that one class.
right.
Which I was very fortunate because I could have easily, had to stay over the summer, which I never did. But
Which makes no sense. I remember you told me that. Still makes no sense. You've
yeah,
never
8
taken a summer
semesters
in
flat.
4 years.
Aren't you required to take summer classes?
You are, but if you are an out-of-state student, you can get it waived.
Wow.
Yes, because I mean, technically, if I don't have to take those extra classes, logically, they shouldn't make me have to pay to take them.
Yeah, that's true.
If I can prove that I can finish the classes in just regular 8 semesters. But they never gave me problems. I just applied online and it went through.
Okay.
But yeah. Enough about school. I don't like talking about
frick
school that much.
I mean, not frick school. Sorry.
Yeah.
We love school out here.
I mean, obviously you do. You went back, so...
Yeah, you can relax. You know what I'm saying? You can relax. But anyways, the signs. So you're a sign advocate, right?
No, I'm not a sign advocate.
I mean,
I
not
just,
advocate, but you seem, like... stuff
I'm
about it.
briefed on the topics, yes.
Okay.
I know a little bit about it, but I try not to bring it up, even though I brought it up. But I feel like when I'm first meeting somebody, it's just like interesting to know. I don't use it as a judgment. But pretty much 99% of guys that I've met and I've, maybe brought it up, they've dismissed it immediately. So which
my
Alec
face.
was the prime example of how most guys react to
99% of
it.
guys. It's too bad.
Patriotic. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, but we went over it. And
We did, yeah.
at the end
I don't know
of
if you
one of
heard
our,
that one, but
what was that? What was that? 8 or 9?
it was one of them. That was,
It was either 8 or 9.
Street,
But yeah. It was like a good
That was
20
good,
minutes
yeah,
of
signs.
you were dying.
Yeah, because we were reading the stuff, and we could do it again today, reading the stuff about like our signs for the day, and if it relates to us. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I will say, since we're on the topic, I mean, since I'm a Virgo, technically my most compatible sign personality-wise is Pisces.
Interesting.
And coincidentally, a good amount of my friends are Pisces.
Wow.
Yes. Not saying that has anything to do with the other, but just a little fun fact for you.
Interesting.
Right. Right.
Oh my god, I'm gonna sound like such a dumb bitch on this.
No, you're being you.
Like, this is the first thing that I bring up, like, non-intellectual, non-analytical.
Well, if you're going to say it's not
That's on you.
intellectual, then...
I mean, look, it's just signs, you know what I'm saying? What about the new one? You heard of the new sign? The
No.
There's a new sign.
Well, clearly you're more kept up with it than I am, because I have no
they
idea what you're
successfully
talking about.
added it, and
Yeah.
people were like, oh my god, my sign's been wrong my whole life.
Right. So you're not a Virgo.
And then they took it away.
I don't know. I
Or
couldn't
is it
say.
still instated?
I don't know.
I don't remember where they left it, but yeah, they were able to add it and everyone freaked out, so I guess the ruffle was successful. Whoever decided to do it.
Right.
So
I don't know how I feel about signs. I don't know how I feel about them because I've heard a lot. Some of it makes sense, and then a lot of it's just like, all right, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I mean, I don't have the app on my phone that, like, you get sent your horoscope every single day.
yeah,
I'm not one of those girls, if that's the bracket you just put me under. I'm not in it.
I know a few of those, and
And you guys, I
their
think you
path,
guys talked
their
about,
journey.
not to overlap you or anything, but I think you guys talked about on one episode, I think when you guys were at a park nearby and you saw girls on their phone.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. Oh, God. I was thinking about it yesterday because I was at the basketball game, and the entire time,
Everybody's on their phones.
the row of girls in front of me were on their phones. They must have, like, taken the, like, obligatory I'm at the basketball game, like, Instagram story or Snapchat story, like, 4 or 5 times before they finally, like, was like, okay, yeah, this is the one. And then they were just, like, scrolling through Instagram the rest of the time. And I had thought about the conversation you guys had, and I was like, wow, people are actually like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty scary. You know?
The one of them finally put her phone down and just enjoyed the sunset. But
For a second.
The other one, yeah,
And
for a
then
second.
until she.
And then they both left.
Right. No, or wait, was that? I thought it was like one of them put their phone down, right? And then the other one was like, okay, yeah, now get this photo shoot of me. And then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so pick it back up. Then they finally both put them down.
Yeah.
And then within minutes,
Just
up and left.
out of there.
So.
I mean, it's crazy how, like, we can be so connected but not connected at all.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you're at a whole basketball game. There's a game.
Yeah.
Like, watch
Because
the game.
I'm not going to say I don't go on my phone a good amount of time, but I'm not, like, I don't look at Instagram and, like, desire whatever's on there. Like, I just use it as a pastime. You know what I mean? Like, I post pictures and I like editing pictures to look good quality. Like, I don't post it for attention. I just, like, I used to do photography in high school, so I like taking pictures. I like using editing tools to make pictures look better. But I know a lot of girls personally who really, like, struggle with Instagram because of, like, Instagram influencers and models, and they, like, get insecure by looking at it. And I'm like, it's not, none of it's real.
It's all cap.
Yeah.
None of it's real. Like, I just look at it. you know, I realize sometimes I scroll through and I don't even like anybody's posts, but like yet when I post, people like my stuff. I'm like, sometimes I don't even really like pay attention, and half of it's like friends from here and half of it's school friends from home. So I don't know. I don't really understand that whole like they get anxious by looking at Instagram.
I mean, I think it's more of like, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess wanting to fit in or wanting to be, like, just attention in general. Like, people are always craving attention. And that was what I was going to hit you up about.
I don't think it's that, but I think it's also FOMO.
I was going to say FOMO, too.
They
like,
think they're going to miss out on something. Like, and if they don't end up seeing it, that's like the end of the world. It's like, oh my gosh, like, this person is going to post at some point today. I have to see it.
Right.
Bro, but also Snapchat, though.
I deleted Snap, so.
That's gone.
Snap is gone.
And Facebook.
Facebook's gone, too.
I really don't like
You have
Snapchat.
those?
Yes, I have those. But I don't like Snapchat because I don't like how now I don't want to say hookup culture, but our, you know, dating culture in our day and age is like you start by talking on Snapchat. Like, that's so weird to me.
Yeah,
like,
people don't ask for numbers anymore. They're like, yeah, let me get the Snap.
Snapchat.
That's so, yeah.
That's very weird, right?
Yeah,
like, I feel like that's kind of jumping a step of being personal. Like, instead of just texting and having a real conversation, they want to see your face.
Yeah, like...
And they want to see you and see what you're doing. I feel like that's so invasive, kind of, almost.
Yeah.
And, like, you're waiting all day for this guy to Snapchat you, or... for this girl
if you're doing
to
that,
Snapchat
it should
you.
be meeting up in person.
In real time,
right?
Yeah, like,
Exactly.
Y'all be saving this for real time.
It's just so weird, and like even streaks are like you almost feel tied to them, and you're obligated to them, and you're like, wait, but if it breaks, like, what is the significance of this?
Look, when I had Snapchat, I had a streak. I had like I only had one long streak. It was like 100 days. I have friends who have like 400 years, like 800 days, like 3 years worth of streak.
Yeah, I know.
But like, I couldn't even do, like, every day was just, and sorry to the person if you're hearing this in the street, but every day was just dreadful. It's like, it's more I have to be on this app, more, like, for what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's not for me. And I deleted Snap, so.
Yeah, I still have it, so I'm just talking shit for no reason, but...
I mean, no, it's true. Like
I mean,
Instagram, too. We still have Instagram, and we hate it.
Yeah. I saw you posted a picture the other day and then deleted it.
You did?
Yes.
I did. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. She just put me on the spot, American.
There's going to be a lot of that happening this episode.
I'll explain myself with that picture, okay? So,
I mean volume. I said episode. I'm sorry.
Volume, wow.
Volume.
How dare you? Anyways,
it's fine.
It's fine because you know for me it's terrible. Like, I shouldn't be saying episode. Anyways, so that picture was actually like a social experiment in a sense. I'm not gonna go too into it, but I like posted like the most typical like
the caption was like very odd.
It was,
I was like, okay.
I think I saw it.
You saw it?
What was the caption?
It was live, laugh, love. All caps.
I did it.
No, that's why I took it down.
It took everything in me not to just
I know,
because
and I
you
wanted
to post. Okay, Karen.
It was a social experiment. Like, me and somebody else, we were like, all right, you got to post this, and we're going to see how many likes we get, or like the reaction of people. And I knew it was like something so like the person told me to post that, and I told them to post something else with a crazy caption. And yeah, it was just a social experiment. Like even I was telling it.
Well, how did it go?
I mean, it was like it
was just to see.
It was a see, and then we had like a little competition between see who could get more likes.
But see, there's different people that scroll.
You know what I'm saying? But
like if I go on and I'm actually just looking at stuff to pass time, then I just look.
Right.
Like, I literally just look. But there are
fine.
people who like they see it and they feel obligated to like hit the like button. Like, I saw it. This is my acknowledgement to whoever it is. Could be someone. It could have 400,000 likes. It's like, do you think that they're gonna see that you liked it? No. Their notifications are off, or their phone would break. So
I mean, a lot of the time, if you're posting for attention, you're usually looking for attention
That's
from
purely
a few
what I was
people.
looking for. Like, not
That
even
is
from
true.
a few people, though, but just to see, like, if anybody was going to say, like, live, laugh, love. Come on. You think I would say that? Like, what was y'all thoughts when y'all saw, if you saw it?
I just was like, okay.
I told you my
know.
thoughts. I was just about to
I was going to
Alright.
comment
Post a troll
too, honestly.
comment.
I was going
Really?
to comment too, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to.
Where are you going to comment?
I don't know. I just was like very confused. I
No,
didn't
it
know
was-
if it was like a like a meme or something, and
It
then I
was.
was like,
It
oh, or
was.
maybe he just genuinely wants people to live, laugh, and
No.
love. You know, who knows?
Come on. I mean, I do want people to live, laugh, love, but like, come on, that was the most basic.
I was like
comment,
really just
or
spreading the
caption.
positivity, Kamari.
Of course,
Good for you.
That's what we're trying to do. You know
I
what I'm
appreciate
saying?
it.
Positivity.
That's what I thought it was because I know you've been on that positivity.
wave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe he's just spreading some positivity. Maybe I
not
shouldn't
doing
call
too
him
well.
out because we're not
You
that
should
close.
have. I wish you would have. That would have been hilarious. That would have been like, wow. That's so crazy you brought that up because, like, the thoughts
we're
that were
talking
running
about-
through my head were like, oh my lord, what does this person think? Or what does this person think? Like, live, laugh, love? Come on.
Well, actually, I'm not gonna bring this up, but yeah, I just thought maybe you're just doing you. Sometimes I think of very snarky remarks to things, but
You should have said it.
I just don't.
should have said it.
I police myself because
No.
some people you don't want to. I don't know. I used to be a lot more of a negative person, and then I kind of now realize that people don't like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, obviously, it's for a comedic reaction, but it's just a lot easier to either A, not say something, or B, just stay positive / neutral.
Right.
Yeah, well, people
And
get
that's what
offended
I
by
mean-
comedy now, so
Right.
you can't say anything really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, like, I'm coming from the same place. That's why I'm trying to be more positive. You know, I realized there's some things I would say or do that, to me, I thought was, like, not that serious, but it could have meant something more, like, to that person. So that's why I'm, like, that's why I'm so hell-bent on positivity, because you never know how people are going to take stuff nowadays. So now I'm just trying to avoid all the smoke and drama and just be...
Yeah. It's a
Right.
good wave to be on, but I don't police myself for others, like, just so that I don't get reactions out of others. Everything is on my own terms. Like, if I don't say a derogatory word that other people say, it's just because I don't want to say it, but I'm not going to tell people, oh, don't say that. You know what I mean? I just have my own personal limitations, and
Okay.
that's it. But, yeah, like I said, I used to be more of a negative person in high school, and then... I still carried my, like, kind of sarcastic personality throughout college, but a lot of people don't realize when I'm being sarcastic, and then I hear things like, oh, you're a mean person. And I don't want to be, like, I feel like you probably could attest to that. Maybe sometimes I've just been, like, snappy or something, and you were like, okay, like...
You want me to answer that or no?
Yes, that's what I'm asking
We'll
you.
say that for off the
What? Oh my
No, I mean, I
goodness.
think there. I can't really remember, but I mean,
I remember a
there's
time.
probably what. Don't even. No, don't even.
I'm going to do it.
You gonna do it?
That's
Okay,
why I'm
yeah.
here.
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
do it. Go ahead.
last semester when we had one class together,
Mm-hmm.
we used to, in our past classes, study a lot together and do homework and whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
And you were busy with the projects
Going.
and stuff, and you had called me out of the blue one day to talk, I guess, and I was like,
You were literally pissed.
because
You weren't trying to be funny. You were literally.
yes,
Pissed.
I was a little annoyed because
You were 100% pissed. 1,000%.
because
pissed.
Kamari was in one of my classes, and like I said, we used to do a lot of studying and homework together and whatever, and that whole semester, what was it, like a couple weeks in or whatever,
Something like that.
I didn't get a hi, didn't get a hello, how are you doing,
Got
how's
that
your
call,
summer, how's your summer, do you want to do homework number 1 together? And then you had called me randomly and you were like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, I see you 2 times a week. You can't say it in person?
I can see.
See, that comes off as mean to a lot of people, but I'm just very forward with...
But I figured, no, I mean, I understood. I had empathy. I understood where you were coming from. And, yeah. I mean, I knew you were, like, probably a little moved by it, but then I was like, she'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So, which you are.
Yeah.
We're here now.
Oh, yeah, so, no. Yeah. I'm totally...
I didn't see you, like, any different type of light. I was just like, wow.
She really is forward with how she's feeling.
Right, yeah.
Yes. Dang, okay. I get that a lot. I just think it's so much easier to be that way rather than to beat around the bush or be passive-aggressive.
That's true.
Because
100%.
If you just tell people how you're feeling, with some limitations, of course, like, at least they'll know, and it's not eating you alive, which then leads you to being passive-aggressive or, acting irrationally or building up emotions. Mm-hmm. It's just so much easier to say how you're feeling, even if the reaction of the person is not what you want. But most of the time, it's like, okay, yes, I understand.
That's 100% true. Yeah. I mean, we gotta be... I'd rather blunt as well.
Yeah.
Than just, beat around the bush, like you said. Because who has time for that? I'm not trying to entertain anything. So, I think I was just more shocked. I was more
because it was the first time you saw that kind of side of me, I think. Probably. I mean, I wasn't really that mad. Like, looking back on it, I wasn't actually that mad. I was just confused, I think. Because we used to, like, study a lot for all of our classes.
Okay. Sorry. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing. No, go ahead. Sorry. I was just laughing, for real.
Yeah, but I think that's a good transition into embarrassing moments.
Yeah, I mean...
How we deal with doing embarrassing things. I have a few stories.
You do?
Do you have any stories, Alec?
I have to think on it. Nothing recent that I can remember.
Honestly, I'm just cringe on a 24/7 basis, so at this point...
But does that constitute as embarrassment, though?
I mean, something that you do that, like, is embarrassing and you still have to see that person after the fact. Like, how do you deal with that? For example, I remember about a year ago almost, I think it was, like, towards the end of last spring semester, and it was late at night. And you called me.
All right.
No, we're bringing it up.
Yeah,
we're bringing it up.
Let's do it.
If you didn't want to talk about it then, we're talking about it now. This is how you deal with embarrassing moments.
Ow. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Trust me, it's not. It won't be as bad as you think it's gonna be.
She's coming from my head, ladies and gentlemen. She's coming. This is my embarrassing.
This will be the last you hear of Kamari's bragging.
I'm not. This is not a roast session. This is
a roast session.
What
is that thing called? Justin, like they roast me or something?
I think it's like a roast session.
No, it has a name. Like they all
roast party.
No, they all roasted like Justin Bieber or something.
Yeah,
like on
the roast of Justin Bieber.
Okay, yeah, this is that.
It's just.
Anyways,
yeah.
Please.
I'm gonna follow with something embarrassing that I did though, so it'll even out.
That was you know what, go ahead.
You want to preface the story?
I'm just gonna say that was a very, you know what, go ahead. I'm not even gonna try and.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly.
Okay, so I'll make the embarrassing part short and my reaction part longer.
No, go ahead. No, explain what you have to. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, actually less than a year ago, sorry, you had called me and it was late at night. I had just gotten back from an event. And I was in Wendy's, just minding my own business, getting my 4 for $4. And you called me at and this was close to finals week. So when I saw your name pop up on my phone, I was like, oh, he has a question about, something, a class or something. Little does he know I haven't started studying yet, but whatever, we'll see how this goes. Plus, you're my friend, so obviously I'll answer if you call me. But, so I answer the phone, and let's just say you're not in your normal state of mind. We'll put it at that. Yeah, it was pretty long. You kept
Please, continue. Please.
You kept telling me you wanted to tell me something, and I was like, okay, what? And you're like,
How do you remember this?
I remember everything. I remember a lot of things.
Noted.
Noted. Yeah,
Never
but
forgive again.
well, I mean, when I was thinking about what I could talk about with you guys, I feel like this is funny. So, or maybe not funny for you, but it's hilarious for me.
Oh no, it's
It is funny.
Alex. Alex is a very stoic person. Inside, he's crying right now, and inside, I am like, okay, yeah. So, please.
But yeah, so
Put me in this embarrassing moment. This is pretty embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie to you. But let's go ahead.
So yeah, we're talking.
That was an embarrassing time.
You're not saying anything of substance, but I'm just like, okay, like, haha, lol, hee hee, looking at the camera, whatever. And the conversation ends, and you're like, wow, you hung up on me. I think you texted me that or something.
I remember exactly why I hung up on you too. I think I was like,
I hung up on you.
No, I hung
Let's
up
get
on you.
this
Nah.
straight.
No, because I was like, no, I know exactly what happened. Because I was like, what's your favorite color or something? You were like green. I was like, hang up the phone. And then you just hung up.
I like green. It's my favorite color.
At the time, see, I was very, I don't know. And I was just like, you know
yeah,
what?
you don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. I think, people have context clues. But yeah, so that happened, and I was like, okay, that was weird, whatever. Went to sleep. Then, like, Monday or sometime the next week, I saw you, and I was like, hey, Kamari, how's it going? I forgot about it, because, like, I mean, I don't, like, I'm not gonna, like, I'm not, because if that was me who did that, because I would definitely 100% do that story following this, I wouldn't want the person to hold a grudge on me or, think about it whenever they saw me. So I was like, oh, hey, Kamari, just normally. And you're like, hey. And I was like, okay, so he really does not want to see me talk to me.
It wasn't even, that night was, wow. That night was a historic night. That's all I'm going to say. And
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know either. But that night I knew.
Are you aware of the situation, or are you just laughing at this?
Yes, I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, he knows. Because it's a lot of people know.
Why do a lot of people
a lot
know?
of events leading up to
A lot of them, yeah, and everybody keeps.
Wait,
I think it's funny you brought that up.
What are you talking about? That night, what happened to you that night, or what happened between you and I that night?
Oh, just the whole night in general.
Yeah, the
whole night was very.
You remember the specific night?
Out of pocket.
Out of, like, there's the pocket, and then I'm just like
miles away.
Yeah.
Trust me, we all have those times. But
but see, this was.
No. Just wait for my story.
This was 99.9%.
Yeah, like and it's funny because, like, it's funny you bring that up because everybody brings it up, and I always have that same reaction. Like, I'm really like
trying to
put
think
it behind me. Yeah.
Okay, with the
no, it's good because we're squashing this. We're growing.
That's what I'm trying
We're growing.
to do.
Yeah. So thank you.
Well, it's not the whatever happened to you that night or whatever.
I'm shaking right now. Thank you.
Oh, relax. You're fine. You're honestly fine, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't be embarrassed because
I can't.
If it was me, like,
I can't.
If it was me, like, I would not want that person to, like, think of me in a different light after or something like that. And I don't. That's what I'm saying. That's why literally the next week, it was, like, behind me. Like, I didn't care at all.
The only person I thought in another light was myself. I was like, yeah, we're going to turn that light off for good. But, go ahead with your story.
Yeah, so I just forgot about it like I do most embarrassing things, and you clearly didn't. So I was like, all right, he's not over it.
You never forget.
I remember it because of your reaction when I had seen you the next week. When I was like, oh, everything's cool. Hey, Kamari. And you're like, don't talk to me. And I was like, okay, he's definitely embarrassed, which is, you know.
But no, it wasn't
fair,
like,
but
it wasn't like all, I mean, that was a part of it, but like it was a lot more.
I'm sure it was.
Coexisted into one just blob of destruction and mess.
That's not something I need to know about.
That's all I'm saying.
But,
sorry. Just trying to.
This is probably not comparable at all, but in regards to you and I remember one time we were at school doing whatever, and I literally, you made me laugh as you do on a normal basis, and I literally spat water out onto you.
Spat water out.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember?
Oh no, I do remember that. I do. I sort of.
We were with other people too.
Yeah,
so it wasn't just you, but you were in the splash
What is wrong with you? I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yes, exactly. It was very embarrassing. Like because you made me laugh, and I had a mouthful of water, and I literally spat it all over all my work, onto you, onto probably the person sitting next to you. And that is super embarrassing.
That's true. I've done the exact same thing. I'm remembering. And so in elementary school, you know, you had the long like lunch tables, right? But you were pretty close to the people on the other side. I was with a group of friends, and I don't know, someone said something outrageous, but I had just taken a swig of like chocolate milk.
Yeah, like right through the
right out my nose, though.
Yeah.
And it burns your nose too when it happens.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it happens, you know. How we handle it. See, back then, I handled it poorly. You know what I'm saying? I did. I handled it poorly, and now I'm going to embrace. You see, now I'm trying to embrace the cringe. I'm trying to embrace the embarrassment because, I mean, at the end of the day, it happened. It's a past, but I mean,
you just gotta embrace it.
Embrace it, move on.
I mean, I'm embracing the fact that I literally spat water in your face, which to anybody else that'd probably be the end of the world. But I followed up the story, I think, or followed up the event with me telling you how just like a week before, I was like leaning back in my chair in the same spot, and I just fell straight backward.
Really?
In front of a bunch of my friends. Yes.
I mean,
that's
stuff
really,
like that, though. I mean, like stuff like that happens, you know.
Yes, but also spitting water in someone's face, like,
but
that's very
where
embarrassing.
That was,
you looked at me like I was actually crazy, and I was like, well, that...
I mean, how are you supposed to control that? Like, if it was really that funny, then...
But
because he thinks I'm crazy whenever I laugh to begin with, so... Why? I don't understand what's so funny. It's true.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
That's true.
I don't know what you expected bringing me on here, like, to be humble and kind and like, oh, hey, Kamari, how's it going?
No. Noted.
Yeah, it's Kamari's roast session.
No.
I love it.
Well, do you want to, on the topic of, you know, talking to people while you're in a different state, I, not that long ago, and I will keep this story as anonymous as possible because if any of my friends are listening, they know exactly what I'm talking about, but there's this guy in, like, sophomore year. He goes to school with us. Neither of you know him probably, but I was, like, obsessed with this guy. Like, he barely knew me, but I literally, like, was just so in awe by him for some reason. Obviously, I had gotten over it, but you know when, like, sometimes... Can we talk about getting drunk on here, or is that not a thing?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Does it ever happen to you sometimes when you are, like, in a different state of mind and, like, random ash shit just starts happening, and you're like, this would never happen if I was sober right now. Like, why is this all like a perfect storm right now? Like, why is this happening right now? I don't know if that happens, but basically it was like pretty much the last night to go to this bar here in town or whatever for the semester, and I was pretty,
Toasting.
under the weather, and it was because my best friend was graduating last semester.
Oh.
Somebody you know. But,
Okay.
yeah, so I was just having fun, whatever. And I was just, I think, the drunkest I'd ever been at this bar. And I realized that literally the entire E-School was there at the point in time that I was also there for some strange reason. And, like, all the ghosts from my past appeared and that I have never seen out before in my life. And I'm in this state, and one of the ghosts being that guy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And like I said, we barely knew each other. We follow each other on Instagram or whatever, but we don't really know each other. He immediately came up to me, hugged me, like kissed me on the cheek, whatever. Greeting, hello, how are you? And now, of course, I was like, oh my god, hi, like, how are you? And I know I started talking to him about, like, his life and, like, details that you would have never known. I would have never known. Because I literally probably just found out by my own means. And so he probably thought I was crazy, add another one to the list, I guess. And we were talking, and I'm pretty sure, like, I was just saying stuff, like, and he thought I was crazy. He was talking to this girl who was also coincidentally from New York. And I was like, oh yeah? Are you from New York? I'm from New York. And I, like, pretty much just trying to be better than whoever he was talking to, whatever. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me, but eventually, which is a very similar situation to yours and I's, Kamari, but I had gotten home and literally DM'd him on Instagram and apologized to him. And I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I was extremely just not in a good state. And he was like, oh, no, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. Which, that's the way you handle it.
Yeah.
But that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
And I still have to see him to this day because we go to the same school. So I just pretend like it never happened because how else would I live my life?
Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. That's all I have to say. Interesting. Very interesting. Very. I mean, that shows though, like you're embracing it, and
yeah, because it's like when you think about it in the moment, you're like, oh my god, this is terrible, but then you're like, oh wait, this is kind of a funny story.
Right. Alec, you got any input?
Not really. Yeah, I mean, if you have to, yeah, it's always worse when you have to see the people that you embarrassed yourself in front of, especially if you don't know them that well. Because, I mean, you never really know what they're thinking then. I guess you can never really know, unless you become closer to them, so.
This is like a really random thought, but like, in my head, I'm like, wow, we're like all in this hot seat. And then like, another random thought was like, we should do like a Hot Ones. Where we have podcasts and then just have, like, remember we were always trying to do the Hot Ones?
Yeah.
With the hot wings?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Because would that be like infringement?
I mean, maybe you can do a different type of
I mean,
food.
maybe just don't even talk, like, act like we're doing the Hot Ones. Or we'll just say we're doing, I don't know. Anyway, sorry. It's later. That was just a weird.
That's just like,
tangent.
That's like when they ask, like, YouTubers questions like, oh, like, what was one brand deal that you didn't stand behind or something like that? And they either, like, they have to...
Ooh.
Like,
you either answer or you have... Oh, that... Jimmy Fallon does a segment.
Yes!
Where...
Oh, no, it's James Corden. Where he does, like, the wheel
Jimmy
of,
Fallon
like,
actually did as well, but, yeah, it's, Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts is the segment you're talking about. And it's like, they either have to spill this... an answer to an outrageous question, or they have to eat something that's like
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I always
not
wonder
ideal.
if that's staged. Like, they know what questions they're going to answer and what they're obviously not.
No, I don't think so. Because I've seen some reactions on stuff like that, and there's no way that could be staged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of the people are actors, granted, but
Yeah.
there's no way it could be
genuine
staged.
right there.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit.
For the millions of people.
Yep.
Yeah, we eating that.
Oh my god. Yeah. Those cow tongues look very unappetizing,
Oh,
so.
God.
I always think to myself, I mean, I'm not a celebrity, so I don't have money on the line or whatever, but I always think to myself, I would always say the answer. Because I would never want to eat that.
Cow tongue.
So you get that one question.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Do you have a question for me? Maybe I...
Yes, you do.
What?
Do you want to go with the world star question?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. All right, Nicolina. I have a question for you.
Okay.
What's heavier? A pound of cotton or a pound of steel?
They're the same weight.
All right. Round of applause, everybody. Round of applause.
What?
You know.
We're all engineers in here. I think we all know the answer.
I don't know.
I would like to think that.
Okay, but look, let's go to question number 2. You're running a race, right? Mm-hmm. You're running, and you pass second place. What place are you in?
First? Or is it third?
What?
If you pass second place,
I'm trying to not react as much as possible.
then it should be first.
Okay.
Okay.
So, is that...
Next question. Your mother has 4 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
North, east, and south. What's the last kid's name?
North, east, and south?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. West?
Okay, West. Next question. Spell 40.
Oh my god, why are you doing this to me?
Oh, that one is rough.
I have a feeling I know where this is going, and I'm going to try and stop it, but Forty.
Okay. And, how many more? Okay, I got one more. A dozen of donuts cost 12 cents. How much is, I'm gonna freak that one up. No, how much is 100 donuts? A dozen of donuts is 12 cents. How much is 100 donuts? Engineer.
Oh god. Okay. Leave me alone. Okay, so that's like 8 dozen. How much is 100 donuts?
Yeah. Oh, I got some more.
I don't know.
Okay, look, it's fine if you don't know.
Why are you putting
Just
me on the spot with this math?
You put me on the spot, so look.
I have to. I mean, I know. Okay, so. So if you
Do
have
you need a pencil and paper?
if you have 8 dozen donuts, that's 96 donuts. Isn't it not? 12 times 8.
It is. It is.
But you can't divide 12 evenly into 100, so it'd be like
That's
8
too many
and,
numbers now.
It'd be 8.5 dozen donuts, so 8 times 12. I mean, 12 times 8.5 is your answer. And how many cents it costs.
8.5 cents?
No, it's not 8.5 cents. It's a, oh my god, stop this.
Alright, I'll stop. Actually, one more. A plane crashes on the borderline between Florida and Georgia, right? Where do you bury the survivors? I'm freaking rolling this into the mic, sorry.
A plane crashes on the border of or the border between?
Borderline of.
Florida.
Or in between, either or, whatever you want to phrase
Florida and Georgia, where do you bury their survivors? You bury where they're from.
Okay.
But they're going to Florida, so they're probably not from Florida.
They're going to Florida?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. They
Only
could
the
be going to
planes
Georgia.
crashed there.
Ha ha ha. Very funny, yes. Keep going.
That's... I have one more. I don't know.
I have one, but I need a second to remember how to phrase it.
Name a country that starts with U.
Name a country that the United States of America.
Okay. And how many terms did Ben Franklin serve in presidency? 2 or 3?
I mean, if it was under the Constitution, 2, but I don't know. Could be 3.
That's a cruel one.
That's a cruel one?
What? He wasn't a president. Stop. You need to edit that out, please.
Nope. No, man.
No editing here.
No, please edit that out. Oh my god. My boyfriend's gonna listen to this and be like, "You're an idiot."
I would have gotten that one wrong.
Okay.
First time that
I know he is not a president.
You want to go back to the other questions?
Or no? Not really, no, because now I sound like an idiot. But all right, keep going.
I mean, that's it.
No,
that's all I had.
Literally, who was it that we got? We got one of our friends one night. We kept nailing him. Yeah, you remember who it is? Yeah. There were 4 of us here, and we just kept going around the room with a question, and he got none of them.
Did I get any of them?
We even got the one.
What is the Florida Georgia one? What is the answer to that?
You don't bury your survivors.
Oh my god, I sound.
No, that one is brutal. That gets almost everyone. That's a pretty good one.
It got me. It gets you.
Oh my god, the future place that I'm going to work at is going to listen to this and be like, okay, revoke that job offer. Goodbye. There must be a name for those types of questions where it's like
they're riddles.
The person. Okay, whatever.
I mean, more or less. They're not very creative riddles, but
they're all structured in a way where you focus on the first few words of the sentence and disregard the last.
Some of them, yeah.
I mean, the Florida Georgia one, definitely.
That one.
The Ben Franklin one, obviously, because you're like, oh my god, how many terms? Like, that was really early on in American history. Like, it could have been before, blah, blah, blah. But he's not even a president, so sorry, everybody. I'm not an idiot, but...
And you're West.
We've heard it here today.
Yeah.
You're also West. Anyway.
What is so funny about that?
West?
Yes.
I said your mother has 4 kids. North, East, and South. Your mother. The correct answer
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
Yeah. That's one of the best ones.
That's a stupid one. Like,
because that's the first word and you gloss over that, and then that's the
West.
end.
Yeah.
Well,
it's okay. It's alright.
I guess I put you in the hot seat, so here I am.
Put you right back. Put you right in the hot seat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think you should just now spend a couple minutes advocating for how smart I am, since you know me, because I've been in all your classes.
She's a very smart...
No, you don't have to do that. Well, thank you for that. I started off talking about astrology, and I didn't know Ben Franklin wasn't a president, so yes, everybody, I am that dumb.
Multi-talented.
Multifaceted, whatever the word
is.
Just very, dumbing myself down here today, but...
I mean, it's fine, because there's people
It's all for laughs.
Yeah, I mean, it's all...
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You can't really think about the
Who
embarrassing
cares?
stuff, because who's gonna really care?
Right, so...
Because there are people who, like, I know who talk about, like, how they gave, like, a bad presentation in class. They're like, oh my god, like, people are gonna know, like, people, like, 70% of the people weren't paying attention to a word that came out of your mouth.
At all.
And the other 30% are probably gonna forget about it in an hour.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
And
You know
or
what I
just
mean?
waiting for you. I remember your teacher said, like, a lot of people are just waiting for you to get done.
Yeah.
They're ready for you to get done. Like, remember you were like, we were talking about senior design, and you were like, your teacher was saying how a lot of people are just not even, like, you just fumbling over words and all this stuff is, like, irrelevant and all this stuff. Like, they're just
when you're presenting, yeah, it's either... the people watching are going to be there and are going to be interested in what you're saying. If you're doing well, like, everyone wants you to succeed,
well.
really. Yeah, they want to see you do well. But at the same time, if you're not doing well, they're just ready for you to be done.
Right.
So either way, it doesn't matter that they're
exactly.
watching you. So
Exactly.
It happens, It
It's all a mental thing, I guess.
is.
I just remembered the question. I know how to word it.
Okay.
Yeah, the riddle.
Go ask me.
Okay.
No, ask me.
Well, I'll ask both of you. I think you've heard it before, but you may still forget. So, a father is 50 years old, and his daughter is half his age. When the father turns 70, how old is the daughter?
Wait, hold on.
So, father's 50, daughter is half his age. How old is the daughter when the father turns 70?
I know the answer. I know it. I'm not gonna say it. This one got me so good though. I was like, okay.
I remember seeing it originally.
I get the trick. So at this moment, when he's 50 years old, his daughter is technically half his age, but she won't always be half his age.
Okay, so how old is she?
She's 45.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, oh, she's 35. I was like,
instant.
Yeah, no.
Yep. No, I remember the original video. It was like 3 construction workers, and the 2 of them knew the joke, and they were just getting this one. He just kept saying 30. He's like, it's 35. He couldn't wrap his head around the fact. Then when they finally explained it, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, that makes so much sense.
Right. And then you got like that one video of that girl. They're like, you're going 80 miles an hour. How long does it take you to go 80 miles? And she's like, what? Have you seen that?
I've heard that question, but yeah.
The best are the videos that like Jimmy Kimmel has where he goes around with like a map and tells people to name the continents of the world, and people can't even point out the 7 continents.
Yep.
That is so funny. Like, come on, there are people in America who don't even know like that North America encompasses Canada, the United States, and Mexico. They don't even know that. Which is absolutely absurd.
I just remember geography exams in like middle school. Just give you a blank map and they're like,
go ahead.
Enjoy.
Go ahead.
It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is going to help me so well in the future.
No.
Look, Ma, I know where Uruguay is. Like, what?
Yeah, if you took Spanish in elementary school, you definitely had to know where the Spanish-speaking countries were. That's
Spanish
for sure.
in elementary school?
Yeah.
You took Spanish in elementary school?
I took Spanish since kindergarten.
So you know Spanish.
Well, remember, this is the more advanced schools we're talking about.
We're dunces down here.
I mean...
We're primwits. Yeah.
Primwits, yeah. Yeah.
Alec is probably like, who is this entitled bitch that's coming into my apartment right now?
No,
just knocking my friend down. Like, why does this person still talk to him? No, yeah. I don't mean it in that way at all. Hopefully you can understand that.
She does. No, I'm playing. I'm kidding.
Okay. The mute button isn't supposed to be on, right?
It would be flashing if it was muted.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Look, see,
because
we have
I feel like you
waveforms.
guys have had problems in the past.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's not speak of those. It's good vibes.
Are we good?
No.
Chill.
All right, let's do something like more lighthearted and not roastish.
Okay. I have a question. It's not like no. So
don't worry.
I'm in this group chat, right? And they had a question. It was like, "Would you rather?" And the question was like, "Would you rather?" Let me read it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Would you rather find true love and be in poverty, or have guaranteed wealth and no true love? And then there's another would you rather. It was like, would you rather detect any lie or get away with any lie you tell? So, what do y'all think?
Let's go with the first one.
You go first.
You go first. You're our guest.
Okay. I would say I would rather find true love and live in poverty. Which I know sounds like the very typical, like, oh yeah, I'm such a good person, like, answer to say, but truly, like, just out of... There's so many of my friends right now who are going through, like, about to breakups right now, and they're like, okay, like, I have chosen myself and my career up until this point, but I'm also attached to this person, and I have to decide whether or not I want to like be with them or not be with them because I have a job somewhere else and I'm moving on. So many people have come to me with those issues, and I'm just like, yeah, that sucks. Like, I mean, we've been programmed to choose ourselves and choose our career since high school, and now we have everything and we got our degree and whatever else, but now we have other stuff like our actual lives to catch up.
I think that because this almost goes back to the conversation. We had a similar conversation about something like this where I think it...
No, we had this conversation and I was...
No. It was like way back on one of the original volumes. We did some kind of talk about relationships, if you remember what I'm saying. Yeah, we had pretty solid opinion on like, what if it even is a thing, then
don't even.
Just, yeah. But so at that point, from what you were saying, I think that they have a job offer that's somewhere else and they might have to move away, but since the thought or debate has entered their head like, oh, maybe I should separate from this person and go do this, I think that it won't end up working out anyways.
That's fair.
Because if it was going to, they probably would not even think about that.
Right.
So
that's
just how I look at it.
That's a fair way of thinking, and it's a good way of thinking if you're not good at making decisions for yourself. If you're just like, if you have that view on life, then yeah. It's kind of the cynical version of what is meant to be will be, basically. Which is a good...
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I could say I pretty much subscribe to that because I, like, chose my job and chose where I wanted to live, to move away from my family, to move away from my life here completely on my own. Like, I didn't have any influences on it whatsoever. So, because I told myself I wasn't going to do that. And that's what I did. So I guess you could say I have a similar view.
Yeah.
Not that none of my relations... you gotta take care of
yourself first, so...
Yes. You do. I mean, where I grew up, or like my friends, like we're all pretty much have similar mindsets until I moved down here, where people like actually think about getting married at age like 22, which is not
earlier than that.
Yeah, exactly. Which is not something I have ever been used to. So like when I think about my friends who are like moving in together next year, I'm like, that's crazy. I wasn't going to think about love until maybe 27, maybe 28. Like, I don't know. But, you know, maybe that is normal to think about. I'm not sure. I'm still not sure about that yet.
Very interesting.
But what's your answer to the question?
I would also go with the same answer, but I think there is a reasonable counter-argument. Because if you look at both options and take the thought of you got to take care of yourself first, so maybe that doesn't involve true love. Maybe that does involve becoming wealthy and just taking care of yourself first. And I mean, maybe you never find true love, but maybe that is the best way for you to be well off.
Can I ask you a question then? Might be a little personal. You don't have to answer. But have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you've had it all, like you were doing well in school, or you were at an internship, or you were making good, consistent money? You personally were happy, but was there any part of you that was like lonely?
I don't think I've been there yet. So,
okay.
Yeah. But I've definitely been the opposite and been lonely.
Just like there was everything was going like kind of shitty.
Everything was terrible. I've been there, and that's not great. So
yeah, because you also want a support system too when things are getting bad.
Definitely. So yeah, I don't know. There are different ways to look at it.
What about you, Kamari?
Oh, true love is the wave. One, because money. There's always going to be money, you know what I'm saying? You're always going to have money. And people, and not even just true love in like a significant other sense, but like true love maybe in your friends or maybe in your family.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I completely agree. I didn't really mean a significant other, just like somebody to spend parts of your life with.
Right.
That enjoys doing things with you and enjoys keeping you company and
right.
Because those connections definitely outweigh everything else.
And that's what I'm saying, like money is gonna be like, I don't know. I could go on about money, but I'm not going to. But there's enough money, already in this world. We need to get some love in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to sound cliche either, but like the best things are the things you can't buy or the things, you can't, that are tangible. So
I've never, like, throughout when I was younger and, high school, I never was like, oh, I'm going to go to college and get a degree so I can make a lot of money. It was never really about a lot of money. It was about, like, supporting myself enough.
Right.
Like, I don't want to have, like, excess money and, be rich, quote unquote. I want to probably have the same living standards that I had growing up. And if I don't, then I'll probably not have kids. Because I wouldn't want to bring kids into this world and give them a lesser life than I had.
Right.
Which is kind of sad, and hopefully with that mindset I will be just fine. But, I mean, college is getting so expensive nowadays. I was fortunate to where my parents helped me. And if I can't give that to my kid, then I wouldn't want them to have to be, like, struggling.
Yeah.
Because, like, it would be selfish of me to bring a child into this world
and
not be able to provide for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I'm sure when it comes to like wanting to have a baby, you just want to have a baby to have a baby. Because you're like, okay, yeah, it's time to have a baby. I'm following the formula of life. Time to have a kid.
Gotcha.
But
yeah.
But I'm sure. I'm hoping I'll be fine. But if I'm not, then I don't know. I'll probably second guess it. But like you said, there is plenty of money in this world, and money can come around later in life.
Yeah, money is, I don't know. I just don't, personally. It's not about the money, To me, nothing is about the money. Money is, I'm going to just bite my tongue, but
okay.
You know how money is. And it can help a lot, but then it can also destroy a lot. And people were saying, like, in this group chat that asked the question, they were like, I'll just take the money and, provide for my family. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can do that, but is that love? Like, is that providing for your family love? I don't think so,
That's a very traditional point of view, which, like Alex said, is, I can see that side 100%.
Right. I mean, I can see that, but, like, money isn't everything to where it's like, you're...
Money definitely
here's this money, I love you, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like...
It definitely doesn't.
So...
I mean, it definitely feels good to be comfortable. Like,
it does.
These past 2 weeks I had to pay for a couple things, and I literally had to eat, like, eggs every day. Like...
It's like that.
So, and that's always less than getting to go to get a smoothie. Get $6 smoothie, We always like that luxury, but I think I'm gonna go there after this, so I'm not hating on you.
Yo, she is hilarious. You have to meet her. She's hilarious. Anyways, yes, I have a smoothie. I'm privileged out here. Black privilege. You feel me? We're starting.
That is not what I meant by that at all. That is not what I meant by that at all. We all like to eat out. Well, it's way more convenient. I'm just saying, like, I would much rather go buy a smoothie than have to, sit there and make 2 eggs that probably aren't going to fill me that much. So,
that's
true. I wasn't talking like that. Don't look at me like that. I was not saying that, but okay.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Money is definitely crucial, but... I don't know.
What was the second question?
Would you rather detect any lie or be able to lie to anybody and get away with it? That one's easy.
The second one.
Really?
If I knew everyone was lying, I feel like that would drive me crazy. And if you can get any lie, if you can get away with any lie, that doesn't mean you have to lie a lot. That just means you can lie when you need to and you'll get away with it.
That was very interesting. That was very interesting.
I mean, can you not see that, like, point of view?
I never saw it. I was just thinking, I want to see if I want to see if people are lying. That's what I chose, but I could see that. Like,
Because, like, if I ask somebody, oh, do I look ugly today? And they're like, no, you're so pretty, whatever. But then, like, my head detects their head's voice, and it's like, oh, no, she looks terrible, actually, but I'm not going to tell her. That would drive you crazy. Because that is not something, unless you are able to turn it on and off, if you just constantly hear people's lies when you're talking to them, then that would drive you crazy.
Sick of people,
but if you could get away with any lie, that doesn't mean you have to lie a lot.
That's very interesting. Alex,
true.
What do you think?
It's honestly a tough one. But yeah, I guess it would depend on the actual circumstances. Like, they are pretty vague as, like, the two sides.
Yeah.
So, yeah, being able to detect any lie at any time while not being able to lie, or you can lie to whoever, but you would never know that anyone else is lying. Right, so it's like you have to use both at the same time, and they're opposites. Otherwise, I mean, that's hard. That's still really hard to pick from. I mean, there probably are people that just have no idea when people are lying. But we were just talking about that. Detection of cap.
I think that's another reason why I chose the other answer, because I can usually tell when people are lying.
True, but what if you were not able to?
At all.
Paired with,
then
you could just lie at will.
That's just even more lie in this world. Okay.
True.
Everybody just cap. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your answer?
Oh yeah, no, detect any lie. Obviously.
Okay.
I'll take being insane. Or really, just cap. I can't. I can't. I mean, I can, but it's like, I just want to. I want to see.
You want to know?
I want to know. You know.
Yeah, I get that feeling a lot. I just want to know things. But I don't know. I feel like that would drive me crazy. But yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. Alec, did you have anything you want to say?
No. I think we can probably wrap it up. Made pretty good time.
Yeah.
How long have we been talking for?
Just over an hour.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
But yeah.
Well, Nick.
Yes.
Thank you for being on
Of course.
our volume.
Thank you.
You know, I got it. I'm not going to say episode ever again. Okay. Anyways, thank you.
Hopefully I brought positivity to the...
You brought something? No. You did. That was good.
I tried to make it lighthearted because it definitely is in my eyes, so. And hopefully this man to my right here doesn't think I'm like absolutely out of my mind.
No.
I mean, you're gonna say no, but you know, if I could detect your lies, you'd probably be saying yes.
You think that I'm lying?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. On that note.
Yeah. So everyone stay out there detecting the cap. Capping is lying if you didn't know. Didn't make that connection. And we'll catch everyone for volume 17. But until then,
stay hyper
sane.